Hello, 8th grade. We are working on factoring, but with negatives. Okay, on Monday you worked on factoring and your two binomials were always positive. Okay, today we are working on factoring where your two binomials are going to have negative constant numbers in it. Okay, so let's go over your steps again. Remember, we always do the parentheses first. Then we add the variables into the parentheses. We list all the factors of the constant. And then we find the factors that add up to the middle term. Okay? So once again, parentheses. Okay, then we put the variable inside the parentheses. Then we list the factors of the constant, and then we look at our factors list and find the factors that if you add them together will give you the middle term. So the types of problems we're working on today, you're going to have a positive constant, but to have a negative middle term, right? What that means is when you do your parentheses, you're going to have to do a negative number times a negative number to give you the positive constant, but the negative in the middle. Okay, so let's do an example so that makes sense. Okay, here's the one that's listed right here. So parentheses first. Our variable is x squared, so we're going to put in x times x. Okay, step 3, list the factors of the constant. Okay, our constant is 16. But to have negative in the middle, that means both factors must be negative, because when we multiply two negatives together, we get the positive. All right, but when we're doing FOIL, all right, we will get this negative middle term. Okay, so my factors would be negative 16 and negative 1. Okay, negative 8 and negative 2. And negative 4 and negative 4. Okay, if I multiply these together, I would get the positive 16. Okay, now I need to figure out which one of these work. Okay, if I combine these two, they make a negative 17. That does not match. If I combine these two, I get a negative 10. Does not match the negative 8. If I combine these two, I get negative 8, all right, which is a match. So I'm going to take these two numbers and put them into my two parentheses. Okay, let me go through FOIL so you can see how it works. Okay, x times x, x squared, x times a negative 4. Okay, that's why we needed it to be negative, so we can get this negative term in the middle. Negative 4x. Then do my inner. Another negative 4x. And then my outer, 16. Okay, when I combine those two together, I get x squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, so yes, I solved it correctly. Okay, this is my final answer right here. All right, I want it in binomial times binomial form. Okay, let's do this next one. Same pattern. We got a positive constant, but a negative in the middle. So that tells me I'm going to be multiplying two negative numbers. So parentheses first. Put my variables in. Y times y is y squared. My constant is 6. So I could do negative 6 times negative 1 Negative 3 times negative 2. All right, when you multiply them, we would get a positive 6. But when I add them together, this would give me a negative 7 in the middle. All right, that is not a match. If I add these two together, I get a negative 5, which is a match. These are the two numbers I'm going to put in my parentheses, okay? It doesn't matter the order, all right? I've got y minus 3 times y minus 2. It could be y minus 2 times y minus 3, okay? It would be the same answer, okay? All right, let's do one more. Parentheses, variables in, go to my constant, which is 15. Okay, list all the factors. Negative 1 times negative 15 would give me a positive 15. Negative 5 times negative 3 would give me a positive 15. Okay. Now I need to see which factors, when I add them together, would give me a negative 8. These two would give me a negative 16 in the middle. These two would give me the negative 8, which is what I want. So take these two numbers, drop them into your parentheses, and that is the correct answer that we want. All right. You can go through and do FOIL. When you do FOIL, you should get back the problem that you started with. Okay, so 8th grade, all of these have a similar pattern. Okay, I'm trying to make it easy on you. When you do your factors, both factors should be negative. That's what gives us that positive constant at the end. And the reason they have to be negative is because your middle term is negative, right, with a positive constant. Okay, so they're going to be very similar to these three problems. Open up the image so you can see your 10 problems. Do your work on a blank sheet of paper. Right? Make sure your final answers are circled and send me a clear picture. Thank you and have a good day.